Okay, boys and girls, today we're going to dig into the tune on this Rxp-X 300 of mine. I'm going to show you a few things here. We're going to look at the factory tune. I'm going to show you the tune that I'm going to load onto it myself. I do have a few parts in this machine. I got a Riva exhaust. I just ordered a stainless steel wearing for it. I've got the Riva scum on this, and what I want to talk about is the Riva scum was a fairly expensive part. We're going to dig into this machine with HP tuners. They just brought the cables out to do Seadoos, Polaris, Can-Am, etc. And I jumped right onto it, purchased them as soon as they came available. So essentially, if you're familiar with HP tuners, like, it's the same software that you use for tuning vehicles, cars and trucks, only now you can access your Seadoo. Software works basically the same, but obviously with off-road machines, you don't see quite the same stuff. So I'm going to show you that when we get on the laptop, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward. And you know, by the time you buy a tune for one of these from a company like Riva Racing or somewhere like that, you're going to spend a fair bit of money. And then if you ever have diagnostic trouble, you still got to take it somewhere to get it worked at. So buying these cables from HP tuners allows me to do both. If you guys have watched the first cable there where I just unboxed the cables and showed them. But now we're going to dig into the tune in this RXP. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to load it on, and I'm going to put my Riva scum up for sale, hopefully get some money back out of it, because with HP tuners I'm able to eliminate the governor, and I'm able to raise the rev limiter, etc., to make the machine faster. Now, that being said, this machine is pretty much stock, so you don't want to get too carried away. Most newer machines are detuned to an extent, so there's some small gains to be had, but I'm hoping after this is all said and done, it should be pretty close to 350 horse after I get my JP intake onto it. So let's get in the house, get the computer fired up, and we'll have a look at the tune and get out here and load it on. Okay guys, I apologize if the camera's a little shaky here, but I just want to try to show you some information. So here we're looking at a stage 2 kit, and they're looking for 2100 US for this kit. And basically what this kit is these four things here: your map tuner, which, look at the cost isn't there, sorry, but you're looking at the power filter, the catch can, and the impeller. So I know the impeller is necessary to achieve, you know, over 80 miles an hour, but I'm going to see how the machine does with my stock prop into it. But the main thing I wanted you to see here is there's no actual engine parts other than the air filter, and they're saying that they're good to 8,300 RPM, okay? So that's just some reference information. If Riva says that motor can rev 8,300 RPM, I'm going to agree with Riva. So that's my fast tune. So here's the stock tune on my RXP. I'm not going to show you guys everything. I don't want to bore you to death, but let's just show you the first easy thing to adjust. So here's your stock speed limiters at 116, 116, kick back in at 109. So this machine's capable of way faster than this. As you've seen there by Riva, they say it's 80 miles an hour. So what I did, you know, simply go in here and adjust these numbers to get it that it can't hit them, okay? So now we've got no more speed limiter. We didn't have to buy a scum for, you know, $550. Yes, this whole HP tuner setup is like, I think it was around $1,000 Canadian I spent, and then I spent another 200 to get these cables for the off-road stuff. But here's something that I really want to show you guys. And so when it comes to fuel, where are we at here? My computer's very slow, just bear with me here. Likes to freeze up. So on this stock tune, sorry, this is the fast one we're still in. This is my modified one. Here's the stock tune. Engine, fuel, power enrichment. Okay, you see this? This machine right from factory is pre-tuned to 8,320 RPM right from factory. So, and when you look at the numbers, they look pretty reasonable. As it revs more, it gives it more fuel, which that's what we're after. So I'm going to say it's very safe to say that these numbers are going to be fine to do what I'm going to do to this machine to get the extra power out of it. Now, I'm not saying you can't improve this a little bit. You'd obviously need a wideband, have to hook the laptop to it somehow, scan it, and do a log in the water. But if this is Seadoo's factory tune, I'm going to go with this. It's good to 8,320 RPM. So that's our fueling, and there's 4 fueling tables, which this is kind of different because on a car or GM there's only one. So as there's 4 knock tables, knock enrichment, and again tuned at 8,400 RPM right from factory. So I don't want to poop on these big companies, but for a simple stage 1 tune, unless they're just, you know, optimizing these spark tables here a little bit, which, you know, I'm sure there is some room for improvement on these as well. If you're going to run premium fuel all the time, put octane booster in, you could probably sweeten this table up a bit. But I'm going to say that these tables are all safe because this is what Seadoo tuned on it themselves. Okay? So, quite simply, now let's stay on the stock one here. Torque management. Where did I find this before? Oh, sorry, it's in fuel cutoff. Okay. So, factory fuel cutoff, your rev limiter, right from factory, is set to 8050. So, you're seeing about 8,000, I'm seeing about 8,000 on the tack, but that's the number there that the computer is saying no. So, very simply, to get this extra power, and see it's supercharged and runs off the crank, so the more you rev it, the more boost it's going to make, but again, only to an extent, you know, without putting the aftermarket wheel and all them goodies in there. You're not going to be doing, I don't think you're going to achieve anything with a stock prop and a stock setup. Anything over 8,300 RPM is going to be useless. If it wasn't, Riva would have made it more themselves. So over here in my cutoff on the tune that I geared up, you just simply put in 8,300 RPM in those 2 numbers. And as for the rest of it, I'm just going to basically leave it alone because, again, we're a stock motor. We didn't change injectors or nothing. We're just looking for a mild gain here with no governor. And we're going to sell the Riva SCOM to somebody that still has a machine under warranty and try to get some of her money back. So that's, you know, it really doesn't get much simpler than that. Now, you know, again, I'm sure you can sweeten the fuel table up a little bit if you want to hook a wideband to your exhaust and get into that stuff, but the numbers I'm seeing here, it's set up fairly rich. This is what it's calling for stoic, which should be 14.7, 14.8. There's only one number there that's close to that. The other ones are fairly rich. So if this is like the Chevs or anything else, the enrichment runs off of that initial number put in, and it's multiplied by this number to give you even richer circumstances. So anyhow, I am happy with these numbers. I'm going to go with that, and I'm just going to say that a stage 2 8,300 RPM tune on one of these RXPs is very overpriced, considering even the cost of the cables, if you already have HP, the cost of the cables is $200, right? And then you're looking at 4 credits to unlock your machine to do infinite amount of tuning. But again, it's a Seadoo, no transmission, so the tuning is pretty basic, right? And we go under vehicles. If this will work. Then we got the support list right on HP. And we want BRP Power Sports. So then in here, Seadoo, all models. 4 credits to unlock the computer. And by the looks of things, most of these machines are 4 credits. All the Can-Ams, side-by-sides, whatever. Which I think is kind of expensive considering a GM truck. Most of them are only 2. But again, this is a new thing they just brought out, so they probably want to make some money off it. And hey, it's worth every penny. Do not get me wrong when I say that. This is absolutely terrific software. So we're going to get this geared up, go out and plug into the Seadoo, load this tune on, and hopefully we're going to see close to 80 miles an hour with a stock prop in this tune. I'll definitely make a video after I get it on the water and try it. So there's the price of our 4 credits, US $199. After you buy your credits, you got to go on the editor, and then you got to go up here to help and go to resync interface, and that'll load your credits on. Alright, so out here the weather finally died off. It's not raining. Might even get to try it today. But your diagnostic plug to hook up is in here. Ignore the stuff there on the right. That's my Rxp-X that I now have unhooked and out of the equation. That'll be up for sale soon, but we're plugged in. Now we just got a key on, no start, and load the fast tune on. Probably can't see the screen, but she's in the process of loading here. Fingers crossed that nothing messes up here. And hopefully we'll be on our way to 8,300 RPM and handy to 80 miles an hour. Okay, boys and girls, using HP Tuner Beta version did not work. It kept giving me a controller initialization failure when I tried to load the tune. So anyway, I had to do a whole bunch of updates. You go into your help option and basically update your VCM editor to the newest version and your VCM suite scanner to the latest version. And that's what you need to do in order for this thing to actually start tuning your Seadoo for you. So, I don't know, yeah, you can kind of see the screen. So we're at 58% and a minute and a half left. It showed about 4 minutes for the procedure once it got started there. So yeah, first tune on the Seadoo with HP tuners, but seems to be pretty simple stuff now that we got the software set up and updated and everything. So we got about another minute to go, and then we'll be able to take this thing back and try her out. Now, if I do another near video with this machine, I want everybody to keep in mind my numbers are going to be off. I sucked some seaweed up with this the other day in the salt water, and my top speed was 74 miles an hour. I'm down to 71. So as I stated, I got a stainless steel wear ring ordered for it, but I am down a few miles an hour because of the wear ring clearance not being tight enough around the impeller. So anyway, it should still show improvement. I'm definitely going to see more than 71 miles an hour at 8,300, that's for sure. So as the tune completed there at the end, you could hear the fuel pump activating the machine. You could hear the security or the key go beep beep and do its thing. Basically the same thing it does in your domestic vehicles when you tune it. It's a computer reset basically at the end. So now I'm going to hook the water up, just fire it up to be 100% certain it's good, and she should be ready.